What's up, guys? In today's video, I'll be giving my final predictions for the UFC White House card. Now, Dana White is expected to make the full White House card announcement tonight at UFC 326. Not just the main event, not the co-main, but the entire card. So, a few people, myself included, have made videos in the past giving our predictions for the card, creating our own card based on which ones we thought were most realistic, what we thought would be the most entertaining, etc., etc. Since then, some new developments have come into the picture. Certain fighters have confirmed they won't be on the card. Others have fights scheduled for the next, whether it's in the next few hours or a few months from now. So it's unlikely they'll be on the card. We originally thought there'd be 8 to 9 title fights. I mean, I don't think anyone actually believed that. That's what we were told. That went to about 6 or 7. Now it's looking like we'll have 6 fights total, only 2 of which being title fights. So, given everything we know, I'm going to give what I think is the most realistic predictions for the card. First up is Derricklewis versus Gable Steveson. Now, I think this fight makes perfect sense. Derricklewis, fan favorite of Trump, fan favorite of everyone, pretty much. I mean, he's one of the most entertaining heavyweights outside of his most recent fight against Waldo Cortez Acosta. Derricklewis has the most knockouts in UFC history. He's an American, true blue-blooded American. One of the more exciting fighters in heavyweight. And Gable Steveson is one of the best wrestlers in the world. 3-0 in MMA, being coached up by Jonjones, an exciting prospect. I think if anyone should fight Derricklewis, it should be Gable Steveson. That would be an amazing event, an amazing card to make your UFC debut in. And then, as far as why Derek should fight Gable, I didn't realize this, until I was looking over the rankings, but 1/4 of all the heavyweights at a minimum are Russian. I mean, obviously Pavlovich and Volkov are. Riz Vankuniev is from Dagestan, which is a Russian republic. Shamil Gaziev, Russian. So, 4 of the 15 ranked fighters are Russian. It's an even quarter if you include, not even, but it's an exact quarter if you include Aspinall, making it 16 heavyweight fighters. And we all know that there'll be 0 Russians on the card. At least that's what we've been told. A few other fighters like Waldo Cortez Acosta have fights scheduled coming up. He's fighting Volkov, so I think this makes the most sense for Derricklewis and Gable. Next up, Michael Chandler. If there's anybody that deserves to be on this card, not necessarily due to their skill, but due to their loyalty and how much of a company man they are, it's Chandler. I mean, Chandler has been doing everything the UFC says and, asks of him. He's been loyal. He deserves to fight on this card, I think. And who better than Conor? He's been calling him out forever. Conor, while this seems unlikely, he has mentioned that he has been asking like 15 days in a row or something for a contract. He's saying, send it over, send it over. Not getting into details, but if he's fighting for anything, if he's getting back into that shape, chances are it would be for this card. He's also, I think, the most tested athlete in the world for PEDs this year. We're only a few months in, but that seems like a pretty big sign that he may be on the card. And if not Conor, then give Michael Colby Covington, another American trash talker who nobody would be surprised to see on the card. Maybe you'd be surprised if, because there's only 6 or 7 fights, if it was a full, 5-fight main card, 5 or 6 in the prelims, another 6 in the early prelims, it would make complete sense to see Colby. With only 6 fights total, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to see him unless it's fighting Michael Chandler. And these guys are only 1 weight class apart, so shouldn't be too hard for Colby to cut the weight or Michael to go up to him. Next up is Colby Covington. Now, if Covington doesn't fight Chandler, I think the fight that makes the most sense for him is Bo Nickel. These two are only 1 weight class apart, being welterweight and middleweight respectively. They got some bad blood. They had not an altercation, but they were trash talking at RAF. Colby says that Bo Nickel made wrestling look bad. Bo Nickel thinks Colby's a clown. So, like I said, these two got some bad blood. And if they are, if Covington is going to fight, this is the fight to make. And if not him, then Jorge Masvidal. I mean, Masvidal is already getting back into shape. He has bad blood with Colby. These two have already fought once. It'd be a good opportunity for Masvidal to get back, beat Colby, make the score 1-1. I definitely think that Colby is someone that will be on the card, and these are the 2 most logical fights to make for him. Next up is Iliatopuria. Topuria, I definitely think he'll be on the card. If he does fight in July or June, then it'll be 11 months since his last fight. He fought Oliveira in July of 2025 at 317. Hopefully, Ilya fights Islam. That's the fight that everybody wants to see. It's the most exciting. If he doesn't fight him, then he has to fight Gaethje. I mean, there's no other fight that makes sense, in my opinion. As much as I love Arman, I don't think they'll let him skip Gaethje for the fight. The only person they would do that for is Islam. Hopefully, Ilya fights Islam. Islam, Ali Abdelaziz said that he's not fighting Usman, he's not fighting Ian Gary, he's not fighting Michael Morales, but he does have a fight coming up. Hopefully it's Islam or Ilya. If not, whatever. And then Ilya, if it's not Islam, it has to be Gaethje. Not necessarily because it's the fight that we want to see, but it's what you have to do, man. The UFC has to stop allowing undisputed champs to not fight interim champs. We have to get things back to the way they should be. I mean, Jones fighting Stipe over Tom was ridiculous. Hopefully, we're done with that. Harrison versus Nunes. Now, this is a layup for the UFC. If we're going to get 2 title fights, this is likely one of them. Whether you like it or not, WMMA will probably be on the card. And this is the most exciting WMMA fight to make, in my opinion. So if we are going to get one, hopefully it's this. Like I said, this is a layup. This fight was booked for 325 earlier this year. Harrison pulled out due to a neck injury. It's kind of weird that 2025 and 26, the first pay-per-view of the year, a fighter pulled out due to a neck injury. Pretty odd. Or Arman's was his back, but everyone said he was doing those weird neck injury or the neck stretches, and that's what injured him. So, regardless, if they are going to do a WMMA fight, this is the one to make. They already had it planned out. It is pretty exciting, at least compared to all the other options. And I don't think either of these fighters said they're no longer interested, so this is the one to make. And finally, we have Pereira. I am 100% convinced that Alexpereira will be on the UFC Whitehouse card. Which one of these 2 guys will fight, I have no idea. Hoping it's Jones. I think that's a more exciting matchup, and it does more for Pereira's legacy. If not him, then Gone for an interim heavyweight belt. I think that makes, that also helps Alex's resume, even if it's not as exciting of a fight. The implications are there that this could be for the interim heavyweight belt, as Pereira confirmed that he moved up to heavyweight with Yuri and Olberg fighting at 327. So I really hope it's Jones, but if it is Gone, then Pereira's still a very exciting fighter, so the fight will be entertaining, and he may possibly fight for the undisputed heavyweight belt one day and become the first fighter in history to hold 3 belts. So let me know what you guys think. Like I said, this is what I think is the most realistic Whitehouse card given the information we have available. Everybody on the left, I'm 100% convinced will fight. And then everybody on the right is going in order from left to right of most to least likely to fight the person on the left. I really think these are the fights we'll get. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.